Nightmare Before Christmas for like Christmas and Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not a Christmas movie. I'm like, Christmas is in the title. I don't want to hear it.
It's
And two, it's like, excuse me? Yes, it is.
It came out at Christmas as well, didn't it?
I can't remember.
I think
I
it was
think so.
Halloween.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I think it was Halloween.
I'm pretty sure they released it as a Christmas film because Disney just didn't know what to do with it.
I maintain that it's both.
I think it's both, yeah.
No, how is it not a Christmas movie? Let's go back to that.
I don't know. She just sees like the skeleton and all the Halloween shit. I'm like, okay, yeah, but like for the first half of the movie, they're doing Christmas.
Yeah, and then they try to steal Christmas.
Half.
Actually, it released in October.
I see it as both, as in both. So.
Yeah, it is both, but there's definitely Christmas.
Okay, so the genre says holiday, horror, musical.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've Disney have since adopted it as their Halloween film because they don't have a Halloween film because Disney doesn't have any character. But like,
they could always take Christmas Town.
I mean, originally it was definitely very much a Christmas film.
Yeah, no, we have this argument every year, and every time I'm like, just shut up and sit down and watch it. Like, we're watching it again. Deal with it.
I'm still tripping. How is it not a Christmas film?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was Jack having an idea, but he wanted to do something new, and it didn't work. I mean, nice try, Jack, but...
So we can do Christmas. It comes out all twisted.
Yeah.
Much more cooler.
Better, I would say.
Well,
the only sequel I would want is the one I saw in a book, where his now wife is now actually helping him.
Did you say there was a sequel? Nice.
In the books.
Oh, in the book. Okay.
There's a sequel of it in the book, and it's what's her face. I think her name's Sally.
I think it was Corpse Bride. Corpse Bride's very similar.
Yeah, Corpse Bride's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think out of all those kind of ones, I think Coraline might be the best one, like as a movie.
Coraline, I think.
It's actually funny because Coraline does feel like a little like kids detective movie.
I don't know. Coraline, I think, was the only Tim Burton movie that I think I felt like genuinely uncomfortable or scared or something. I don't know.
Really it's kind of scared with the buttons for eyes. I thought that was like really freaky, like especially for kids. Well, like yeah.
If you watch the thing on Netflix, Night Before Christmas just had Tim Burton's name and it's his idea initially. He had very little to do with it because he was doing Batman.
Yeah.
It's the second Batman at the time.
I have a question to ask. Which version of the How the Grinch Stole Christmas do you like?
I don't like any of them.
What?
I don't like any of them.
I'm not a fan either. I'm not a fan of the Grinch.
Oh, you know what?
I mean, as a kid, I fucking laughed my ass off with Jim Carrey, but that was about it.
So
growing up, it's
Oh, okay.
I remember working in the theater whenever the latest one came out, and I was like, just hearing it was
when it comes
awful.
to all the adaptations, I mean, they're all interesting because they all bring something.
My favorite Christmas movie is Klaus, which is really, really
Klaus
good.
That one's really good, yeah.
Yeah. What?
I did not expect to like that as much as I did. Oh, it's so good.
Klaus?
Klaus, yeah.
Yeah.
that was super good. I like that one because it's not. I mean, it's cheesy, but it's got that kind of dark humor to it.
Yeah, and all the sort of intricacies that are involved, as in like just all the sort of, you know, what makes Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
The
well,
story's
you
great.
know.
Yeah.
It definitely it's like it's a Christmas movie, but it comes at it from a completely different angle, sort of, and that's what makes it different, and I like that.
Oh, if you've not seen
I
that,
love the two feuding families. The two feuding families are so funny.
I'll have to watch that again.
That's my Christmas Eve movie with John before I go to my parents' house. So.
Wait, so the Netflix series Klaus, you said?
That was a movie.
Oh, it's just a movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Animated.
Okay.
That's probably the best thing Netflix has ever done.
Yeah, I've never seen this.
You need to watch it.
Yeah, I just found it randomly over the holidays, and I was like, I was like, hey, fuck it, I don't have anything to watch. This kind of looks interesting.
It has songs in it, doesn't it?
Of course, J.K. Simmons is the voice of Santa Claus.
Donate your own toys.
So what? Is this like a history adaptation?
It's like a kind of origin story for Santa.
Okay,
but also for lots of other sort of Christmas traditions.
Yeah.
Which is completely inaccurate.
It's
a good story.
I have a question does he get his sled?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what happens then. Okay, I want to watch this now because I know why he has the sled.
Well, don't watch it like now, but yeah.
I know.
It's snowy. That's why he's got the sled.
No, it's a like I said, I've seen a lot of adaptations of Santa Claus's story, and one story I like is why he uses the sled.
This one explains every aspect of why he has what he has.
Ooh, I can't wait to watch it now.
Right down to why the workers are dressed the way they are and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like the school teacher that her class was turned into like a fish shop or whatever. He was so unhinged. I love it.
Even how the sleigh can fly as well is explained as well, which is been quite clever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great script.
Is this it? Yes, it is. All right, I'll save this.
There is Sir Goose-a-Lot. You Rumpelstiltskin, he's Goose. I just realised.
Wait, what?
Mother Goose?
Sing Goose is Goose.
He's a goose, yeah.
I love it. Love the evil goose, to be fair. I think it's great. I always like wee characters like that. They just make a film, don't they? Sometimes it's the wee side characters that are the best in films.
Yeah.
So, where was this taking this ship? What ship is it?
Oh, so this is your ship. I just thought this was a better picture. Although, as you can see, the AI struggles with stairways.
Alright. No, but, what type of ship is it? As in, is it sort of Royal Britannia ship or what type of ship? I don't know. Okay.
I mean, as was explained to you, it's a British cargo steamer requisitioned by the military forces to transport cargo, or paid by them rather than requisitioned by them.
Okay.
I think in real life, this one actually, it was a cargo ship. But I think the reason it's in the military records is because they used it for D-Day, because they used every boat they could get their hands on.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not sure it actually did any service beyond that, but for a cargo mission, it makes sense that it was used.
I forget. After we're finished with our letters, where do you want them saved to? Just in our journals?
Yeah, just in a journal. Just put letter 1 or the date of the letter or something.
Yeah, I put the date on mine.
So I can read them and I'll put a reply in later.
The date on it? What the hell?
The date? Yeah.
Yeah, the date.
You write the date on a letter, usually. If you write letter January. 1, I'm going to know which one it is anyway.
Wait, what's the date here?
The 22nd January 1944.
Yeah. So we are.
Yeah, like I knew that.
I didn't have the time to listen back to the end of the last one, but I had the U-boat attack and sink the battleship on the first morning after you'd slept on the boat, didn't I?
I think so, yeah.
Right. Okay. We're working that premise. So I couldn't remember if I did it in the evening or if I had you sleep at the end of it. I think I had you sleep.
I think it was like midday when the actual attack happened, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking probably.
Wait, how the hell do you know where the date was?
Because you said it last time and I had it typed up. Like, that was the only thing I had from my journal before we shut it down, so.
Yeah, in the mission brief, I think it's got a date as well. I'm not sure. If you didn't get time to read the mission brief last week, so I'd recommend giving that a
Well,
look over.
Operation Witch Bride? Or...
Yeah.
No, it
Such a
doesn't.
cool
Yes,
name.
it does. No, it doesn't.
It does not. Well, we started on like the 20th of January 1944. So
Yeah.
we're on like the 21st or the 22nd now. We'll say we started on the 21st and now it's the 22nd. I'm going to write in Discord so I don't forget that.
Alright, well, my letter's done, so.
We are now at noise in January.
Yeah, I managed to get the steamship like ambient sound that somebody had made, but I couldn't find a genuine recording of a steamship sound.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you're in an engine room, you'll hear it going chuk 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 chuk.
Oh, yeah, for
I'm not,
sure.
I'm not sure how much you would hear top deck.
It would probably kind of be like how the ambience is now. Is you still kind of hear just this faint
Yeah.
rumbling, but yeah.
Well, it may be more dominant because they've been around for a while at this point, so I imagine they weren't as obtrusive. But I have no idea. Because whenever you see videos of them, they're like sailing by and they sound silent, and I'm like, there's no way that it's fucking quiet. I've heard that. I've heard the trains one.
Well, yeah, it's actually kind of a little strange. I don't know, because, yeah, it's not loud, but when you're not, like, near the ship, it's really not,
They've been on a steamship.
you really don't hear anything. Well, there's like a paddle boat ship that,
Paddle steamer.
yeah.
Oh wow.
It uses more modern engines and stuff like that, but it just, yeah, I just don't imagine that it would be like incredibly loud, like you'd hear it from, across the way.
Yeah, the distance because they always sound silent, man. Like when you're on the ship,
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally right below you.
Yeah. We'll definitely just hear a constant, like, just rumbling and, yeah.
Because it is like big pistons driving it and all that, man.
Yeah. Hey, there he is.
Hello.
I didn't hear you there, Alan.
Is it picking up the mic okay?
Yeah, you're just quite quiet.
Yeah.
Ah, sure. I'll see if I can turn that up.
Oh, wow, that's cool. So, Operation Mincemeat was literally last year for us. Yeah, it took place in 1943.
Was that in Italy?
But yeah, it was for it was to disguise the Allied invasion of Sicily.
Yeah, I like campaigns. As I was saying before, man, like when you're researching this, like, not that you forget the different theatres, but the scale of it, and like how many individual just sort of theatre actions were going on, it's just like a whole thing in themselves, man. Because I've always really been interested in the North African kind of part, man. Because the desert war there and the big tank battles and all that was something just really cool to me.
It's the one you don't hear so much about, I think. You get all the movies about, the D-Day landings and the bit that came after that.
Well, I think the reason they don't do movies of the desert one so much is a lot of it was just sitting in the desert, trying not to die of dehydration.
Yeah.
And dealing with like the flies.
Yeah.
But, like,
not exactly the most cinematic.
No. I mean, I also love Lawrence of Arabia, so I don't know if the whole desert thing's just appealing to me.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, the
No,
whole
I
North Africa
recently was. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say I recently was watching. I forget what it's called, but it was a movie. The movie that came out recently about Operation Mincemeat, and I just randomly thought, I was like, wait, we're in the same fucking war. What? How long ago was that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, especially because obviously all the colonies added a dimension to it that you forget about as well. Laura was watching a series and it was about a Jewish family that got all separated, and one of them ended up in Senegal, which was a French colony, so it was the Vichy France, which was under Nazi rule. And you would have thought like the French colonies on like way down in Africa and all that wouldn't have just aligned themselves with the Nazis taking over France Central. You think they would have remained, you know, like independent French or something like that, but they all like signed themselves over and allowed themselves to be ruled over by them, and it's just a weird thing.
Did you ever see the Big Red One war film from about 1980 or thereabouts?
No, I watched the series, The World at War, like every year, I think.
Yeah, I just mentioned it because it touches briefly on the North African campaign, and I think like one of the early scenes in the film is, well, it follows this like American squad that get deployed through various theaters of the war, and there is like when they arrive in North Africa at first, I think they have like a brief skirmish against the French forces that are rolled up there. Can't remember what country it was supposed to be though. I mean, I always see it referred to like Algiers or something.
Yeah, I can't remember if Algeria. I know Tunisia was a French one, then the Italians took over, and then the Germans took over on the retreat. So a lot of it switched over back and forth as well. The one I was interested in as well was reading all in the Levant, you know, like Jordan up through Syria and all that. And a lot of that was like French protectorates. And that was a whole theatre, because that's where my granddad was stationed for it. And they had like French on the Allied side coming in, and they reckoned when they came into like Syria, or the area that would become Syria, the Vichy French would just like switch sides as soon as they realised it was being liberated, but they didn't. They were so dug in that they just like fought to like fucking the last man, French against French, for Syria. Which is just nuts when you think about it, man.
Yeah, it seems insane when you think about it now.
In Iraq, I mean, we might cover Iraq depending where you go, but like Iraq was a British supported like ruler, and then the Nazis supported a coup to overthrow them, and then I think there was like a 4-month war or something like that where the British came in and reinstalled like the Iraqi leader and all that, man. So it's like it was just all over the fucking place.
Oh yeah.
I think it was probably set more like at the time of World War One. But did you ever hear about the film that Saddam Hussein tried to bankroll about the Iraqi forces fighting the British? It was mental. They had like well-known stars in it for the time. They had like Oliver Reed was in it.
Right.
Some other people, I think, but I think it had like a really short release. It does exist, but you know what? You can't get it anywhere now. It's yeah, it's like one of these kind of phantom, kind of lost in media things now.
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Can't remember what it was called, but yeah, you probably if you like pull up the IMDb for Oliver Reed, you probably get it that way.
But yeah, just like the complexity of like the colonies, what they added to it, just breaks into all these little skirmishes and wars that were going on over the place. But none of that's going to matter because Keen's going to go insane.
Yeah, and I'll forget the whole thing.
You're gonna go crazy.
One thing I did want to say was, because I was listening to like other people's Cthulhu kind of games, is like when your insight goes up, and that's triggering, you know, like your temporary insanity or whatever. That's very much kind of on you, just to make sure that at that point your character just starts acting like they're losing their mind. I mean, they'll calm down and get a hold of it again after a time, but because I do this sometimes, like I've been telling you how your character feels and stuff like that, and to try and hold myself back a little bit for that, like you just kind of narrate exactly how you are cracking and what you're doing. But obviously it is a negative thing, and it should interfere with what you were trying to do when it happened.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes you kind of need that sort of guidance, you know.
It's getting the balance between, like, you know, telling you, you know, what's kind of triggered or whatever, and then you also being able to take up the reins and run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sector. I just want to look at
Did you write your letter, Gus?
I still need to do that, actually. Yeah.
you
Get to
won't.
work.
Yeah, you won't get a reply till next week anyway. But
Okay, yeah, I'll try and get that in the next like day or two.
you don't have to. I mean, if you're happy going insane, that's fine.
Yeah, I think it would be a shame to do that so early in the campaign.
It would, wouldn't it? Cough, cough.
Yeah, yeah. It's, you know, I mean, who would start session? Who would end session 1 with 4 insight already? That's crazy.
Only you. Only you.
But yeah, so if you left the port in Liverpool on the ship, the SS Saltersgate, yeah, Saltersgate, and you know, you leave. I think you left in the morning. It's like a day's journey, and I'm not going to work out the course about exactly where you should be, but you're at a point not far from the English Channel, I'm imagining, or off the coast of like northern Spain, or maybe western France, whatever. North Atlantic, anyway. And in that morning, that's when a U-boat strikes. Launches torpedo, it hits a battleship, sinks her. You guys are just kind of like steaming away at that point. And just the uneasy silence and tension of not knowing, because obviously there'll be depth charges. The other warships in your group fire their cannons, their guns at the location where the U-boat had arisen. But there's no clear sign whether she's been hit or if there were other U-boats, because they are known to travel in packs. So as you are like kind of steaming away from that, and the crew kind of goes silent for a little bit, and minutes pass, you're all told to stay on deck. You've got your life jackets on, just in case something happens, so you can get out of the ship quickly. If you're concerned at all for the people on the warship that's going down, you know, the captain will come along. I have a picture from here somewhere. So he will have made his introductions the previous day as Captain Archer, and he comes along and he looks like the guy from the Bird's Eye adverts, with the hat and the beard and everything. And he has a little wooden pipe as he comes along to you. You're all like huddled there. It's morning, it's sunny, but it is cold because you're on the North Atlantic, it's windy. I wouldn't worry about the people in the boat. The Coast Guard will get to them, and they've got lifeboats over there. I'm sure they'll be fine. We just have to look after ourselves for the moment. And there will be other members of the crew going around here. Don't know why this is there. Yeah, I mean, there'll be a bunch of other crew members going about to and fro. One of the guys who's this dark, tall guy, quite broad-shouldered, quite handsome, called Marcel, and he's got this big warm smile, and he's a Frenchman, and he is like, he starts just like singing while he's like hauling ropes and moving things around on the ship, and it's the only kind of sound that's sort of breaking the interlude between the silence, the sound of the waves and the sound of the guns. And as he begins to sing, other members of the crew that are around there start to like join in and sing some song in French. So you can assume that these are all the French members of the crew that are joining in. But it's going to be some time before, you know, the tension sort of settles back to normal, as you're like just waiting for the next like U-boat to strike. The warships kind of like fall back. Your boat group, your little mini fleet, continues on its direction. But now you are like so far out from the coastline, all around you is just ocean, and the half dozen or so ships that are alongside you. Weston has sort of gathered his stomach and is holding it together, just not looking very well, very pale. And one of the crew members come along and give him like a warm tea to drink. And your Captain Farrington is just stood across you with his arms crossed, doesn't seem too bothered by any of this. Rearrange these a little. So as you are all standing on this deck on this chilly morning, given what's just happened, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I go up to him and like, this happens all the time?
He doesn't stop doing what he's doing. He's like moving heavy ropes around, but he just throws you a look of kind of like, and he has a slight sort of French accent, but he sounds. You've been through like Morocco and stuff, so you figure he's probably from like North Africa because he has that kind of look about him, and that sort of tone in his accent. But this man's got quite a deep voice. It's like, yeah, on occasion it happens.
You need help? I seem like a, no pun intended, fish out of water, but you need help with that?
It's yeah, we, and he like takes one of these big ropes off his shoulders and just like gives it to you, and immediately you can like feel the weight on it and you take it.
Oof. Whew. Thank God for basic training. I'm convinced to helping.
And he just smiles. It's like, merci, what this way? He starts walking along to take the ropes.
Follow him.
You are with the soldiers?
Yes, I am.
British? No?
American.
Ah, we America. I always wanted to go there. You know, like?
Not yet.
No? Not yet.
Well, let's just say they don't like touch my skin.
Ah, we have the same problems with the French. But on the ships and the ports, not so bad.
Out of character. I thought the French loved us.
And there were a lot of French colonies. They didn't have segregation. I don't think I would describe it as love.
Okay, in character. Back to it. So yeah, you know, I hope that can become over.
Maybe after this war, people will realize what's important, and we will stop bickering over the petty things.
That indeed.
So what is it you and your friends are doing?
We are going to investigate something. We don't know what, but we know it's very important.
Ah, I see. It's unusual to be so few of you to be traveling on a cargo ship, no?
Yeah. Well, we kind of missed our other shit, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Ah, I see. And he like dumps the rope he's carrying, takes the one off you, and says, "Ah, merci, man." Drink, he says, and he pulls out like a little hip flask, takes a drink himself.
Sure, I'll take a drink. What is it?
It's like warm brandy.
Oh, God. I'm like,
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
He takes another swig himself, and then like passes it back to you, pulls a cigarette out, and starts to light it.
Oh, I'm good. I just wanted to have one, just a big thank you.
Because he just nods, like puts it away, pulls out his cigarette. What about the rest of you? You can see Captain Archer having a quiet discussion with Captain Farrington.
I forget what the lieutenant's name was.
Weston.
Weston, okay.
You'll be seeing the name on the token or not? Maybe you can.
It doesn't show up any names.
Oh, it doesn't.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hang on. Always fit. Yeah, Weston.
Okay. I think Kian would kind of approach Captain Farrington. Wait his turn, as you know, as he's just a private still. So, but
okay.
he'll try to go to Captain Farrington.
Sure. Captain Archer like ends conversation with him, and he turns to Dr. Pemberton. Don't you worry, lass, or ma'am, sorry. These boys will be on their best behaviour, but any of them give you a word out of place, you just let me know and I'll set them straight, okay?
Okay, sir. I see one of the sailors, Marcel. He looks as if he's got a cut in his arm. I'm gonna go and fix it.
Okay, I'm gonna approach Marcel.
I see you've got a cut in your arm. I'm a surgeon, so I can fix that up for you.
Ah, oui, madame, it'd be excellent, he says, and he stubs out his cigarette and like holds his arm out for you. You're a doctor? That's impressive,
Yeah.
no?
I'm a surgeon.
Is that why you were with the soldiers?
Yeah, I'm part. There's a mission, and I'm part of it. So it must be to do with like, medical. So you got family, and
Oui,
You're
madame,
back
I
home?
have 2 children, a wife, and they are in London just now. They were evacuated before the invasion.
seen any sights? while
I
you've been
see
out?
a great many things in my travels, yes, but nothing warms my heart more than coming home to my family, you know.
Nice. I have 2 children as well. I have Millie and Rupert, and my husband Norman.
Oh, mine's are Jean-Pierre and Christina.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, he's
Like-
at school learning English just now.
Oh, nice.
He
Must be
actually,
proud.
he actually wrote to me the other day. Would you like to see?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so on shared documents, I'm going to give you Marcel's letter that you can see. And if you can't read the text bit, it's written out at the bottom, so you can actually read these. So it says, "Dear Papa, it's me, Jean-Pierre, and I'm writing English. I just wanted to write to you and let you know that me, Mama, and Christine, and Uncle Lawrence are all well and liking England a lot. There are 9 French boys in my class, and we are all good friends now. But I am the best in English," says Mrs. Adler. "She is very nice and from Bordeaux. Mama says we must have hand her aunt over for supper this week. How long until you come back to England? Christine says she wants to go home, but she has to share her room with Mama, and I have to share with Uncle Lawrence, and he snores. She does cry sometimes, but Mama says she is just little. I am older, so I do not cry. I just play football and learn English so I can be a sailor one day too, and explore America. We all love you too, Papa. Come home soon."
Oh,
It's a
God.
very good letter. Marcel, you should be very proud
is it?
of your Jean-Pierre.
He is doing well, yes.
Yes, very.
I'm hoping he will have more ambition than being a sailor, though, no?
I think so. Definitely.
But you, your children married, yes? Where is your husband?
My children are 3 and 5, so they're still babies. My husband, he is in the army just now.
He's
So-
in England, yes?
Yes.
Are you from England too? Oui?
I'm from Scotland.
I could say.
From Edinburgh, but live in England. So
Yeah, oui. There's much to do and see in London, yes?
always plenty to see. Always good theatres and entertainment. Definitely a lively city.
So Marcel will continue just like giving small talk to you. He's a very friendly, welcoming man. He's got a really like big, broad smile, and infectious laughter. He's always like cracking jokes, and he's like saying things to guys when they walk by in French and something. They're all like they have a joke and a laugh. But he's just like a very positive kind of character. And the Captain Archer comes across after he's finished speaking to Captain Farrington. And when Marcel sees him, he nods. He's a Capitan. And the captain's like, "Hello, Marcel. I see you found our guest, but don't you have work to be doing?" And he like throws him a look, and Marcel just smiles and he says, "Ah, yes. Au revoir, madame. I'll speak to you later. Yes."
Yes, your arm will get better soon, so don't worry.
Ah oui, merci, thank you very much.
Hello, Captain.
Well, at that point, Kian, you get to approach Captain Fangden.
Just gonna say, if anything happens to Marcel, I will never forgive you. But no, Kian, I'll approach Captain Farrington and I guess trying to distract himself from the U-boat situation. Just kind of go. I mean, I don't know how the situation at sea. Are these sort of attacks frequent on our travels?
Come, Miss Rodell, you must have read the papers. These attacks happen all the time, although they are certainly much less frequent than they were previously. We have Jerry on the back foot, and you know there's not as many of them around as there used to be.
I actually also had a question. You mentioned we were all chosen for our experiences,
Yes.
and you admitted that you've never had a similar encounter. What of Lieutenant Weston?
I can assure you, Lieutenant Weston has been appointed on the, you know, the great performance on his record. You don't need to worry about him.
I get the impression he doesn't seem to care for me very much.
Well, he has a certain classist demeanour about him, but I can assure you he is a good and honourable man and very professional. And he certainly won't be holding anything against you, Mr. O'Doyle, if that's what you're concerned about.
I have concerns, is all. When we encounter dark things, sometimes people do things that they wouldn't normally do.
I see, but is that not why we have the structure, the hierarchy in the army? So that we have our discipline and our training to fall back on in such times?
Well, you might have that, sir. I'm just a truck driver. Not a frontline soldier.
Ah, well.
Never been in a trench.
Perhaps not, Mr. O'Doyle, but you are indeed a frontline soldier now. For we are on the front lines against the enemy unseen.
Thank you, sir. I'll just go and grab me something to eat, I suppose. Calm the nerves.
Of course, Private. Be on your way. And what about you, Mr. Barker?
I think it would probably be just kind of casually standing around having a smoke, but at the same time it would be maybe kind of listening in a little bit to what's being said, just in case I can get any kind of insight into, you know, again, I still feel like I don't really know why we're here, and maybe trying to see if I can pick up on anything without directly asking.
So you're just trying to get your bearings, more or less, and just...
Yeah, pretty much.
Seeing the lay of the land, because, yeah, like you said, you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, I'd like to look out to sea and see if I can see anything as well. But, I imagine, you know, we're probably still in the open waters, so there wouldn't be a lot to see at the moment.
Sure. Yeah, you look out across the sea. I mean, you can see a couple of ships that are alongside you, and beyond them, there's just like this endless, wide ocean. Just like, and you're imagining, because you know where you're going, you're headed to, and you're just imagining that it is a desert of sand there, and this is just like a desert of water here. Quite literally, in a way that you couldn't drink it if you were thirsty, even. And you just, your mind starts to wander, and you think about the people that were first exploring, and how they set out on ships much less powerful than the one you were on, and how dangerous it must have felt to be going towards this like endless horizon, never knowing where you're going to end up. And that, in a sense, brings your thoughts back to your own like family and how they, in a sort of similar sense, do the same thing every time they go down underground, because they're digging through rock that's never been explored before, and opening up tunnels that have never been seen before, and it's a very isolated environment that's cut off, and you wonder how much of that sort of sense of exploration and danger you kind of like have in common.
Sounds exactly like.
Sorry, go.
I was just going to say that sounds exactly like the kind of thing you would start thinking about if you're looking out into the endless sea.
Sure. And I just did what I said I wasn't going to do and told you how you were thinking. But could you make an investigation roll for me?
Sure, just a second. Oh, where do we get the thing to roll from again?
So the hotbar at the bottom should have like your character display loose, and that'll bring up your sheet, and then you can just click on the investigate button. And you obviously always have the one dice. You'll have a second dice if it comes under your occupation, which I don't think you as well. And then you can always take the inside dice if you want to add that risk.
Is it just within human capabilities?
Always. Everybody always has that dice. Okay, so you can reroll that by adding the inside dice to it if you wish. Otherwise, you're not going to get much.
We're all mad down here.
I think I'll probably just leave it at that just now. I feel like I don't want to risk taking too much insight at this point in time.
You're so low? Why money, man?
I get a better feeling about this.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the one then, you know, you're looking around, you can see the crewmen doing their job. They seem pretty proficient, experienced. They're obviously trying to keep their spirits up under a sort of tense moment. The captain is going back and forth, just like talking to people, and you get the sense that he's just like trying to put people at ease as much as like be present so that everybody knows, you know, there's someone in command, which is probably important. But yeah, everybody just seems to be kind of just doing what they can to distract themselves for a moment. I think that's about all you're going to really gather. Nobody's really talking to Lieutenant Weston. He is kind of left on his own, sitting there against some crates, holding his stomach, just trying to like keep himself upright and together physically. But I think that's all you'll be able to glean at the moment.
I think I would probably feel a little bit sorry for the LT at the moment. I'd maybe go over and ask him if he needs like something for his stomach.
So, I mean, being a British officer, he's definitely not going to admit any kind of weakness in front of the men, I don't think, and you probably get that. You would probably, being you're a people person, you'd probably like get that sense from him immediately anyway. He like shakes his head, he's like, no thank you, Private, I'm doing quite well, I'm feeling much better now, thank you very much. The tea is working wonders.
Alright, how's yours, sir?
He looks as if he's going to say something else for a second, but he like stops himself. Okay, Adam, so after you're going to help Killian and share a drink with him, what would you like to do?
Look at the horizon.
Okay, I mean, yeah, so I mean, you've been on a ship before, and this moment, you had the same kind of moments of tension, although you've never actually encountered an attack, but there was always like the threat of it, and you can remember the first time when you were setting out, and you were travelling across the Atlantic to a land where, you know, you've never been before, and you've probably never been far from home before, let alone across an ocean to the other side of the world. I know the other men in your division, your platoon, whatever, felt much the same way. And this was the first time you were approached by one of the men who would become like your brother in arms during the next few weeks and months. Do you want to tell me which one of your friends is like the closest one? Or the one that you initially kind of spoke to?
Oh, Johnny Backblack.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Where's Johnny from?
Johnny is from Harlem.
Harlem, okay. So he's got a New York accent.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to even try to do.
It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, you approach her and he's like, gives you a nod. Strange, ain't it?
That it is, Johnny. That it is.
So he asked you, where are you hailing from?
Where am I hailing from?
Yeah, where are you from?
Oh, Mississippi.
A lot of you southern boys in this boat, he says, motioning to like the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
So you shot anyone yet?
Yeah. And I gesture to my camera, like right now. Click.
Shit. Why they got you carrying one of those?
Oh, because I wanted to take pictures of as much stuff that I possibly can.
So what,
You know, but
were you taking them for a magazine or what?
honestly, not sure, but that sounds like a good idea to do. Honestly, I didn't think that far when I started this career.
So while we were
But-
doing all the fighting and killing, you were going to be taking pictures.
I mean, I know how to use a gun. I'm good. But yes, I can take pictures while fighting.
Right, I mean, I don't mind shooting down boys, keep them off your back, but if one of them come up behind me, I got to know that you're going to take care of them
Oh yeah, I got you. I got you.
and not just
Trust
say,
me,
cheese.
Then again, you never know. It may help. I mean, a flash in the face hurts.
He's like, what's Johnny like? He's like a big broad guy. Imagine, what's the actor's name? Imagine he's got like the big mutton chops and the big thick mustache.
Yeah, you can say it. Hold on.
Quite a broad guy. Deeper voice. But yeah, I mean, he's like, he rubs his chin for a second. So I'll tell you, I'll make you a deal. You take my picture and get me in a magazine, and I'll make sure none of them boys shoot you.
You know what? You got yourself a deal. All right, you want me to take your picture now?
Shit, yeah. And he like strikes a pose, one leg up on a crate, rifle kind of just like straight up and down on the other side. He's like looking up in the air.
Perfect. Click. Wonderful. It's gonna be on a magazine. Watch you see.
So Gloria, the captain came up and started talking to you after Marcel leaves.
Okay.
I'm awfully sorry, ma'am, about having to stay on the upper deck when it's so cold out here, but you'll be able to go below deck again soon. Unless you want to go stand on the bridge, you can be inside there.
No, I'm fine. The cold weather is brisk and it's, it wakes you up, doesn't it?
It is rather bracing, yes. I wouldn't worry about it too much. We get these little run-ins now and again. But she's a good ship, and we've never had any problem with her. I'm pretty sure she'll see many a day before this is through.
So, as a one-to-one captain, what else? Is there any information that you haven't disclosed to us?
I'm not sure what you mean, ma'am.
As in, have you seen anything that is going on?
Seen anything, ma'am? I don't quite follow.
As in, anything supernatural?
Gives you a very peculiar look. Supernatural, ma'am? You mean like
Out
witches
of the
and
ordinary?
all that?
No, something like out of the ordinary.
Honestly, the only thing out of the ordinary at the moment, ma'am, is, well, yourselves. It's unusual for us. I mean, we've transported soldiers before on occasion, but never a unit as small as yours.
Yeah, it's very strange. But maybe we'll get our answers once we're there.
Well, if you're fortunate, maybe your lieutenant over there will get his sea legs before it's done.
He looks quite a depressing sort of chap, doesn't he?
Ah, well, truth be told, I'm surprised the rest of you are doing so well. Normally, 80-90% of the land lovers that get on here for the first time are in such a way. Have you been to see much yourself before?
I have.
Ah,
I have
that
with
explains
my
it.
yes, with my grandparents. My grandfather, he was in the army. He was Royal Command, so
Ah, I see. Where are you from, ma'am? You've got a slight lilt to your accent.
I am originally from Edinburgh.
Ah, I see. Scottish then.
Yes.
There's a good port in Edinburgh. Fine city. Been there many a time.
Yes, it is, but a lot of painful memories.
Oh, well, beg your pardon, ma'am. I don't want to bring up any terrible memories for you at this point in time. Lord knows there's enough hardship going on in the world. So,
It is indeed.
I mean, if you don't mind me asking, ma'am, what is it that brings you and your colleagues out?
Some people are trying to find answers, aren't they? And when I was asked to go on this mission, I just felt like, okay, let's see if I get any answers or where it takes me. Always like a new adventure.
Ah, yes, I can understand the adventurous spirit. That's what took me on the seas when I was a lad. Long time ago it was now. But surely your husband must be worried about you coming out on your own like this.
Yes, but he's ranked in the south of England just now, so
Ah, I see, serviceman. He's an officer, is he?
yes, he's in higher rank, so
Ah, yes, can't be saying I'm surprised by that at all. And you're a surgeon, aren't you? That's quite an accomplishment.
yes indeed. Especially for a female surgeon. You don't get many of those, do you?
No, you certainly do not, miss. It's a whole new world. Well, I shan't detain you much longer. I have business to attend to. But it's been a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Dr. Pemberton.
Too.
And he saunters off. After a little while, if anyone's watching, Captain Farrington will just sort of like stand up and check his pockets for a second and then like head back down under deck. The rest of you are left sort of standing, milling around for the next few hours in the cold. Occasionally when the wind stops and the sun's just beating down on you, it's extremely warm. But as soon as the wind picks up again, you know, that chill goes through you. Until
Maybe some allowances.
Yeah, I mean, they will serve lunch and stuff like that in the mess. In the galley. But it'll continue more or less the same until the sun starts to go down. And the cold really starts to draw in. And like someone rings the bell on deck. And the captain comes along. Saying things to people. And Marcel comes along to you guys because you're all huddled up. He's like, we can go below deck now. We'll have supper soon. And a little wine. And he makes the drinking motion to you.
Sounds glorious.
Never really had the stuff myself.
Oh, monsieur, you're in for a treat. Yeah, so take you down below deck and to the galley where they will have all the meal laid out. And it's not a grand meal, it's like, you know, minimum sort of rations. But they do break open a bottle of wine, red wine, partway through and start like giving drinks out. And the captain throws Marcel a kind of look when he starts pouring himself a drink. Did I get a picture of this? What was I saying? I thought I did get a picture of a galley. Something like that's probably a little more modern. But you'll be able to see like hammocks and stuff that have been like rolled up at the side because somebody might sleep in here when it's not the eating area. Most of the ship is dedicated to either the engine rooms or the cargo holds, which is the majority of the ship. Very little space is allocated to like personal quarters. And you all like sit around the table, they crack open the wine, they're all like telling jokes and laughing away, singing songs and such. Except for one man who come to learn his name is Jacques, and he's quite a serious, studious looking man with spectacles, and he just kind of like sits there quietly smoking his cigarette, occasionally sort of smiling, but not like a big open smile, as the rest of them are kind of like carrying on and into the evening. Captain Farrington is not just helping himself to the wine, but for anyone who's like trying to keep an eye on him, you can see that he also breaks out his own sort of stash of whiskey and starts like drinking that as well. And he's like sharing a drink with Weston, but Weston just politely refuses, saying that his stomach is not quite settled yet. But some of the other men, including Marcel, will take a shot. But Farrington, for anyone that's keeping an eye on him, seems to be hitting it quite hard. And as you're in there, you can like hear the wind pick up. You can hear the pattern, the splashing of rain against like the upper deck. And when you finish your supper and people have like had a coffee and a drink afterwards and everything, the men start to like unfold the hammocks and put the tables away. Is there anything anyone would like to do before you settle down for the night?
Probably just like I'll ask one of my colleagues if we can get Captain Farragon to bed, because he shouldn't be up drinking. He should be like in his bed now.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, does Farrington look like he's so drunk that he can't walk?
Yeah.
Well, he's, I think we should, So I just say to Kian, do you want to help me? Get him to his room.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, does Captain Farrington look like he's to the point where
I mean, he's
he
sitting
needs
there.
help?
He's talking. He's quite. Trying to say, he's got the sound of somebody who's had a drink in him, but he's not like really slurring his speech. He's quite an eloquent speaker at best times anyway. Even when he gets up to move to go to the bathroom or whatever, he might stumble a little bit, but obviously the ship is lilting side to side at this point anyway.
Yeah, but I think I'm a wee bit concerned just to make sure that he's okay.
I'll stay up with the captain. Don't worry about it, Gloria.
Well, I'm gonna get more to eat. What else do they have there?
I'm not quite sure what the rations would have been, but it would be like rations. There wouldn't be like lots of free food to eat, man. And the men do quite a lot of like physical work, so they're going to like chow down and eat their food.
Well, I don't want to eat the workers' food, so that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you could inquire about the food, and the guy who's the chef would just turn around and go, "I'm sorry, mate. We're on rations. Once we make port in Gibraltar, there'll be a lot more, and Lord knows when we hit Africa, there'll be plenty to eat."
Oh, that's fine then. That's fine. I don't want to eat your guys' rations, because
That's no problem. We're all glad to have an American on board.
Yeah. All right.
But I mean, if everyone else wants to just retire for the evening and go to sleep, you can tell me who's not, if anyone isn't.
Kian's not. He's gonna kind of. Actually, he'll probably join in drinking the whiskey if the captain will allow. But he'll definitely not hit it that hard that he's also inebriated. So he'll just kind of keep an eye on the captain and the lieutenant.
Well, the captain
sure they get to bed.
Who's definitely had a drink at him at this point. Oh, thankfully, or finally, someone's going to have a drink with me. And he like pours you a glass and puts over. It's like some of our fellow officers here, and he just glares very obviously at Weston. Aren't doing me the courtesy. Quite impolite, wouldn't you say, Weston?
Wait, do I have to wait now? 'Cause...
It's up to you. You can stay or you can go to your bed.
Well, when I see Kian do a heavy drink, I'm like, This means I have to stay up. And I take a
I did.
picture of him.
I did take a heavy drink.
Well, he means whiskey, doesn't he?
That's
Oh,
a
I
heavy
guess.
drink.
Hard liquor, as the Americans say.
Yeah, and I take a picture of him because I'm quick with it.
Say, oh, Winston, please, no pictures.
I know. Only one.
So, Pemberton, you're going to your bed, yes. Barker, are you going to your bed?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I probably will.
So you two retire, and Weston kind of makes his excuses after a little while. You probably get the feeling that the proper thing is for officers to be separate from the men when they're like, on their downtime. So he's a little like, he's just sitting having a drink with the captain. But clearly the captain has been a little passive aggressive towards Weston, so he sort of makes his excuses and he retires for the evening as well, leaving just the three of you in one of the tables that's been left. The other men who have unpacked their hammocks and stuff are just kind of like talking amongst themselves, having a cigarette. Some of them are going to sleep. You'll hear one of them like snoring already as the evening draws in, or the night draws in, sorry, and the wind picks up even more, and you can hear it like howling and stuff outside.
So, Captain, what's the occasion that you're drinking to?
Oh, well, let's drink to the mission. Yes, that works. It's glugs another one. I say, Mr. O'Donnell, for an Irishman, you don't drink much.
I've slowed down. Of course, as he says this, he quickly downs his glass.
And what about you, Mr. Winston? The Americans have the stomach for this kind of thing. I can't say I've met many of them that did. That's it, you Adam.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy your drink.
Are you quite sure?
Oh, I am positive.
Very well then, I guess it's up to me and Mr. O'Doyle to finish the bottle.
Drink up.
So Mr. O'Doyle, it's kind of fumbling around with his glass a little bit. So you must tell me, Mr. O'Doyle, the details. What exactly did you see that day?
He'll kind of go quiet for a second, but kind of put on a smile and just go, which particular day, Captain? I've lived through more than one.
The one the good lady Potts was talking about, where her husband went missing and all that business. Sounded frightfully awful. But I'm curious about what it was that you actually encountered.
Ian nudges his empty glass towards the captain for a refill.
Anyway,
Doesn't say anything.
Happily fill it up again. You know he's looking around at some of the men lying in their bunks have kind of like turned their heads over to listen to what it is you're saying.
Right. Well, I don't really know what I saw. I've seen some strange things, but I've always felt there was reasons for it. Strange dogs and people. Have you ever been to Edinburgh, Captain Farrington?
No, I can't say I have.
Underneath the city, there are these vaults, and Kian's just really trying to work through it, working through the memories and things like that. But he kind of pauses, takes another great big gulp. Doesn't drain the whole glass, but he takes a big gulp, and then he kind of pauses and just stares down at it. We were helping. Kind of looks around to make sure that Gloria's not in the room. We're helping Mildred investigate a man named Michael Thomas. and
Well,
over
yes,
the
yes,
course
yes.
of
I know the details of that, but what was the thing that you saw? Because Mr. Martin's here and he's like drunkenly waving a finger at Adam. He's seen one of them too.
I think probably for the first time since meeting, Keanu will stare at Adam like directly in the eyes, just trying to like, just kind of sort of making that connection.
Well, Adam's like, yeah.
So it's frightfully exciting, though, isn't it? That you've both seen something so new and extraordinary.
You can say that.
It's certainly outside of my experiences before then.
I just can't get that smell out of my nose.
Yes, what was it you said? It was like burning rubber?
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? And you don't believe that was kind of the fires that were going on?
No, not at all. At first, I thought until I saw the thing, and I'm like, oh no.
And what do you suppose? I mean, you both encountered these things, but what happened to these things afterwards?
Kean takes probably another big gulp and actually drains his glass. Doesn't say anything.
I mean, do you suppose they're still there underground somewhere? What have they been doing these last 20 years, you wonder? And he's like rocking back in his chair, waving his arms around a bit. Some of the men in the hammocks are like actively like turned around and like watching.
I certainly hope that it's starved to death and we never see its like again.
Do you suppose it devoured Mr. Potts?
Truth be told, sir, I didn't stand around long enough to even consider.
Oh, well, of course not. Of course not. Well, I should be very much interested in finding one of these creatures.
Why?
What? Why does anyone want to discover anything?
Do you not think that some things we're not supposed to know?
Now, where would we be as a race, Mr. O'Doyle, if that was the thinking? We would never discovered the Americas, the Arctic. We would never have climbed Everest.
We also might not have ever discovered massive weapons to kill fellow man.
Yes, and if we hadn't done so, how would we fight back against the Germans? This is what I'm saying, Mr. O'Doyle. Exploration, that's human nature.
What if the Nazis never learned their superstitions, their myths?
Well, we
If
don't
they
know
were
how
never...
much... They'll like talk over you drunkenly and just be like,
Yeah.
I mean, he starts basically kind of arguing himself and repeating himself and falling over his words a little bit. Like, he's very inebriated at this point. Well, excuse me, gentlemen. He stands up, kind of, his jacket's kind of undone and everything at this point. Picks up his hat and puts it on sideways. I must relieve myself. I'll bid you gentlemen a good night. And he picks up the remainder of his bottle and takes it with him.
How much is actually left in the bottle?
Let's say like an eighth or so.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think Kian would have probably tried to stand up also, but like got a little wobbly.
Yeah, I mean the boat is tilting quite a lot now, and with the waves and the wind.
Oh, it seems like you guys didn't eat. Man, you guys are tougher than I expected. Now get up and leave.
And is that you done, Keen, as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my take. I just got up and left. Cause
Yeah.
Like,
I get you're getting up. You're just going to bed now. Are you the same, Keen?
yeah, I was just gonna say that Kian probably would have probably sat back down and just sort of had a moment of just staring at his empty glass now. Kind of going, thinking about, remembering that horrible day in the vaults for a moment before he finally just, probably later towards midnight, he finally goes to bed.
Yeah, okay, well, by the time Keen goes to bed, then you can hear snoring coming from the bunk around the corner from your own, where Captain Farrington sleeps. The rest of your crew are kind of sleeping soundly. Obviously, Gloria is back in her cabin by herself.
I think, if anything, on the way, Kian probably would have paused in front of Gloria's room and just, now that the memory is once again fresh in his head, he's once again confronted with the fact that he knows and he doesn't want to have that conversation before he, finally just heads to bed and tries to sleep.
Can I ask, are any of you a light sleeper?
I am.
Yes.
So, yeah. Gloria, you and Adam, everyone else is asleep. And Gloria, you're in the cabin on your own. You're in a state of just that sort of point in the night where you're a little bit more awake. You're at a very light stage of your sleep cycle, and there's a doomph against the cabin door, and you hear a scraping of a boot, and then you can hear heavy footsteps going up the stairs to the upper deck. The thunk of the door, Adam, always kind of wakes you from a dream. It's almost like a bit of PTSD almost from the guns going off around you. You turn around, and when you wake up, Adam, you probably at points during the night kind of notice the snoring because it's quite heavy. But when you kind of wake up with a jolt, you do not hear the snoring. And as the boat kind of tilts to one side, you hear the sound of a bottle, and you look down, you can see the empty whiskey bottle sort of just rolling down the deck between the bunks.
Captain?
Everyone else seems to be asleep.
Must be Captain.
Gloria, you will hear Adam yell out, "Captain."
Yeah, I come out of the room modestly dressed.
Yep, Adam, you turn around the corner to check on the captain. He's not there in his bunk. You can see the edge of some of his documents, the folder with papers and stuff, just sticking out of a case underneath the bunk. And then the door opens beside, and Gloria kind of half peeks her head out of the cabin.
Did you hear that?
I heard that. I think we should go up on the deck to see if he's okay. I'm scared that he's gonna, go overboard. He was, drinking quite heavily.
Okay, those documents, I quickly skim.
Oh, I hope you would. Okay, make an investigation roll.
The task is within human capabilities.
Yep, you've always got that one. I'm going to say it's not. You don't get the second dice. So if you want a second dice, you'll need to use the insight one. So do you want to re-roll it with an insight dice, or do you want to take the 3?
So was that a success or not a success?
That's bare minimum or a failure.
Oh, so is it a failure?
It would be, or you would get bare minimum. You won't get extra information unless you want to use the insight and re-roll.
Oh, I was gonna role play this. If it's so it's pretty. You'll say it's a bad roll.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what happens. I see the documents. I was gonna read it. I was like, no, that's not a good idea, and I just put them back. And
do I see him do that?
Yeah, I think. Well, unless you're taking a second to throw some clothes on, I suppose.
Okay.
It could be even you're in the midst of kind of just going to search through Adam, and then Gloria kind of fully steps out of her cabin, fully dressed, or at least with a jacket thrown over or something.
I go, oh, I'm sorry. I saw some papers. And wasn't sure if they were important or not. I just put them back.
Well, he was drinking quite heavily, wasn't he? We really
Yeah.
need to see, and at the top of the deck if he's okay.
Yeah, let's do
It's
that.
quite stormy weather.
So yeah, I put those papers back and I tied them up and then just go back. I'd go follow Gloria to go find the captain.
So stepping back up stairs. Yeah, the sound. The rain is like hitting down hard. The wind is like blowing all around, and you have to like hold on as the ship rocks side to side quite violently. Up deck, obviously they keep lights to a minimum at night. You can see one light on in the bridge, and you can see that there are two men in the bridge room. Obviously this is like the night crew steering the ship. No one else is on the upper deck though. Just above you, just in front of you is like the big steam pipe, and no, sorry, that wouldn't be because the bridge is in front. The bridge is in front of you. The steam pipe is behind you. You're in between the two of them, and you look around. From what you can see, and out beyond the edge of the ship is just like pitch black, and the area around you is just illuminated enough that you can just see from the light from the bridge. But right there at that moment, you can't see anyone. Can you both make an investigation roll?
Ooh, I get to roleplay this one too. I'm gonna wait for her to roll.
Just be able to click on your character.
Did I not roll?
No.
No.
You need to click Gloria, investigate, select what dice you're rolling, and then you roll. But you're only going to get one dice unless you use insight.
I just put if the task is within human capabilities.
Yes, you always get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just look around, you don't see any signs of the captain. But just between gusts of wind, you just slightly catch the sound of like someone shouting.
I go towards that.
Well, I mean, given it's not entirely clear where it's coming from, you'll need to like get out of the stairway and go look around.
Oh, okay, so this is what I do. I go out, I go up, and I go, Captain!
What about you, Gloria?
Captain Farragon, Captain Farragon.
Be yelling at him, assuming.
Yes.
Yeah, you shout. You can barely hear each other over the wind. Are you going in different directions to go around the bridge office on either side, or what?
Well,
I
here's the thing.
have
I
my
went.
torch, so I'm just, I'm flashing it to see, because that's why I
Well,
brought my torch out.
okay.
So
I went out first, so I don't know which way she's going. So
I go towards the top of the deck.
Okay, so you go out and then up to the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the men, Jack, is one of the men in the bridge, and he like comes. He sees that you're up there flashing the torch around, and he opens the door. Madame, you should not be out like this. Is very dangerous.
Yes, but Captain Farragon, he had too much of the drink. Can you come help me? Try and find him.
Of course, madame, but please wait in here. It's much too dangerous for you to be walking about out there.
Yes, but I'd like to help. I've got a torch. If you can help me, then that's fine.
Of course. And he tells the other man in French that he's going out, and he puts like a rain jacket on over himself, pulls the hood up, and he steps out into the rain with you. He grabs onto a rope that kind of runs along the side of the bridgehead. I don't know what they call it, the bridge cabin. It's like, Madame, you must keep hold of this. Wrap your wrist around it.
Yeah.
It has been known for waves to strike the ship and just sweep you away.
Okay. I do. I just wrap it around.
So I'm imagining you're making your way up like one side of the ship, and Adam, you're kind of making your way up the other side of the ship, on the other side of the
Yeah.
Yeah. So you both kind of make your way up, and you just get ahead of the bridge part to the front of the ship, and you can't really see anyone here. You look around the crates and you go around the edges, but and you listen very carefully between the gusts of wind, and there's definitely not on this side of the ship.
We must go on the other side.
It's like a big, there's a wave and just like a big splash, and it nearly knocks Jack off his feet. He kind of scrambles as he's holding on to one of the ropes that hold the crates and stuff together. He's like, Madame, this is much too dangerous. We must go back.
Yes, I'm going back. I don't think he's here. We have to go at the bottom of the deck to see if he's there.
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to hear that, would I?
Not if they're having a conversation. You're not next to him though. He's like, Madame,
It's
you go under deck. I will check the I can't remember, the aft of the ship or whatever the rear's called. I will check the back of the ship.
Okay.
Adam, as you're like coming around the crates, you bump into Jack, and it takes him a minute before he kind of recognises you. Sir, you should not be up here alone.
Sorry, it's just I'm looking for the captain because I heard something out here.
Oh, the Madame, she's gone downstairs. I'm going to the rear of the ship to look for him.
Can I come with you, or you just?
It's
Or
better
you-
we go together, yes.
All right.
The two of you make your way back along that side, down the edge of it. Pemberton, you get to the stairs and you go back under deck. Everyone else seems to be asleep still. No one seems to be bothering too much. Adam, you and Jack make your way along. You go past like the steam chimney. You can hear like the engines crackling. You can hear some of the cooler men who are like coming up for like fresh air every now and again or to smoke a cigarette. And one of them just kind of like is going back down as you come past, and he kind of like waves you over, the two of you. Here, there's one of you lads walking around.
Yeah. Have you seen the captain? Or this is the captain? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
what? I thought I saw someone a second ago up round the corner of those crates. I thought I was
Alright,
seeing
I'll go.
things. What kind of idiots out there? They're on this time of night.
Let's check. I mean, they're still over there.
Yeah, I think so. And he's like, so he points to where he thinks it's round some of the storage crates, which are blocking the view. There's a lot of them laid out and stacked up here, and they're kind of sliding a little bit side to side as the ship moves.
All right, I go over there. Follow me, Jack.
So
Just in case.
Yeah, Jack's behind you, just kind of being very slow and careful because he's already slipped. You're a little more gung ho because you're okay, trying to keep on your feet.
Well, I'm telling Captain.
Can you make an other actions roll for me?
Another action.
Yeah, the other actions roll.
Whatever I did, I did it
Excellent.
succeeding.
Yes, make an insight roll for me. Yeah, so you turn the corner in the darkness. It's just like a flash of lightning as you do so. You can see the man, Captain, his jacket's off, or it's maybe like wide open, blowing in the wind. He's not got his hat on. He's holding on to the railing with just like one hand as the ship's bobbing up and down side to side. And he's waving the other hand up at the sky, and you can hear him yelling, shouting at the top of his voice into the sky. Like, why did you not come? I was waiting for you. You weren't there.
Captain, who you yelling at?
Stomach grumbles the way that it likes to do when something's not quite right. And you just catch, in the flash of lightning also off to the side in your peripheral vision, something large and white kind of come out of the water and then turn and like go back in again, as if it was like a massive hump of flesh, pale and white, reflecting moonlight, that goes into the water.
What in the Sam Hill is that?
At that moment, you're kind of jolted a little bit as Jacques' hand lands on your shoulder. We must grab him before he is swept away.
All right, let's get him.
Two of you, and the cooler comes around the corner at the same point as well, sees what you're doing, and you all kind of like shout and yell to him, and he's just ignoring you. And he's just rah, 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 shouting something you can't understand into the sky, the night sky, as you kind of get up behind him. And he has no idea that you're there at all. So what do you do?
I don't know, like grab him and like, come on, Captain, we gotta go.
What in the blazes? Who the hell are you?
It's me, Adam.
I'm not
What
going
happened?
back. I'm not going back.
But Captain, what's going on? Who are you yelling at?
And he turns around and he's like wide-eyed and pale, and he's just like has this mad stare. It could just be that he's drunk so much, or it could just be like he's wild with like terror. But you're not sure if it's rain or if he's been crying, but it's like his face all like red and wet.
Well, whoever it was, it made you mad.
He's like holds you by his shoulders and he's like, "Who are you? Damn you! Who are you?"
Private Adam Winston, remember?
Winston? Can you?
Yeah.
Yes. No. Jolly good. Yes, let's get back inside. Yes.
All right, Captain.
What the blazes are you doing out here?
Oh, I heard a noise and I saw your bottle.
My bottle? Yes, the whiskey. Where's the whiskey?
Oh, it's downstairs. Jack, take him down.
Just nods, and he's got that serious study face he has. He hooks the man's arm, and then hooks his other arm into the rope, and kind of leads him away.
So I'm still out there. I'm just trying to see what was he yelling at.
Ooh, nice. Make an investigation roll. I mean, you saw something reflected in the lightning and the moonlight for just a moment, and it was very white against the pitch black of the ocean at night. Maybe it was a trick of the light from the reflection from other ships, but as I said, all the ships have their lights turned down and off at this point because they don't want to be seen, so it's very, very dark. You're not entirely sure what the hell he was doing out here or what he was talking to or why. But as you turn around, there's like something under your boot, and you look down and there's like a crumpled piece of paper.
Oh, pick that up.
I will
I'll
go
open it.
into shared documents, and I will allow you to see this. It is called Find and Receipt in the shared documents. And if you want, you can like show that to anyone else and they'll be able to see it as well.
Oh, I can't see it.
I can't see it either.
Yeah, you can't, but if he
Like
allows you
to
to
see
by
it.
showing you it like in character, then you can see it.
Oh, okay, I see. Misunderstood.
Would be nice.
Oh,
But Jack leads him back down to his bunk. He passes you, Dr. Pemberton, as they come down the stairs. And it's like, unhand me, man, I can walk as myself. Good God.
Are you okay, Captain?
Yes, I'm perfectly well. I don't know what all this fuss is about.
See, the captain, see, like, his office is separate from his bedroom, isn't it?
No, he just has a bunk. Remember, you have the cabin. He just
Okay.
has a bunk just outside your cabin door, and then around the corner, that's where everyone else is sleeping.
all right. So yeah, I come back into Gloria.
Yeah, you come
Gloria.
back downstairs. Gloria's there. The captain's kind of pushed past her and just sat on his bunk, and he's like kicking his boots off.
Okay, so yeah, I go Gloria. Oh,
What happened?
he was yelling at something. I don't know what it was. I don't know, but here, look at this. And I hand her the paper. I don't know what this is.
So you should be able to see it now, Gloria.
Oh, Mr. Charles Farrington, cremation service, transport by carriage, labour 2 men, oak coffin, brass fittings, removal Churchill Hospital. Oh, is this? This looks to me, it's his death.
The captain
Oh,
is now snoring in his bunk. One boot still on his feet.
What's it mean?
The cremation service, it says like 12? 12?
Weston
Elves?
comes over in his skivvies. What the blazes is going on? What was the captain doing outside?
What? He was just drunk, wasn't he?
Well,
Winston.
that,
yeah,
that
yeah.
too, and he saw something.
Saw something? Like what?
I don't know. I could have swore I saw something, but I'm not sure it was either. But he was yelling at something out there, but I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm sure he's just had too much to drink. Perhaps you should all go back to your quarters, yes?
Very well.
Yeah. do I because I've as a surgeon, so I sometimes deal with like the coroner and stuff like that, and sometimes funeral services and stuff like that due to like of what happened and stuff like that. Do I know exactly what like all of this means? As
Well,
in,
I
it
think
is
that's an investigation role.
yeah.
Yes, this is definitely a receipt from a funeral director's.
And it's for him, isn't it?
Well, it's addressed to him because
Yeah.
he's the one that's paid the bill.
Okay, so I just relayed all of this to.
Well, you can't just now. You're in your
Um,
cabin alone.
Yeah.
But come morning, when I mean, maybe you wake up with the commotion of the. Well, I don't think Keen would. Maybe use a couple of drinks, but the Barker might wake up and hear like the others kind of like talking, and then the lieutenant telling them to go back to bed.
I'm an early riser, and I think Winston's an early riser as well. Adam's an early riser, isn't he? So but I want to kind of tell Adam about what's happened.
Sure. Do you want to grab the others before breakfast?
Yeah. So I just like.
Okay, so you get up. The Lieutenant Weston is up by this point. He's looking a lot better. And he's like bent over the captain as you get out of your cabin. He's like, Captain Farrington. He's like, oh, 15 minutes, mother. And then he sees you come out of your cabin. He's like, I think the captain's going to have a bit of a lie-in. If you could tell the chef that he won't be there for breakfast.
Yeah, that's fine. But I just kind of like knock the doors of like other.
Well, they don't have
people,
doors. I'm
so-
saying they're sleeping in bunks in like the passageway. If you imagine the passageway, and
Yeah.
there's like 2 bunks either side. You turn the corner, and that's where they're all kind of are.
I kind of I sort of go, sort of like, psst, as in, meet me in the sort of, the quarters, the sort of breakfast quarters.
The galley, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Keen. So you and Barker as well, you guys get up. Adam's awake already, and him and Gloria are kind of like talking.
I don't know what it was, Gloria, but there was something out there.
That seems scary. And about the coffin as well. They're like the coffin on board. And it's for Captain Farrington. So is it him that's and who is the person in the coffin? He did not say.
If the 4 of you are awake, and you head towards the galley, there are a handful of men sitting, playing. They've all got like a hand of 7 cards each, sat in a circle, just like smoking and putting chips down, playing the card game.
I shared the receipt with them,
Right, okay, I'll make this
with
available for
Barker,
everyone.
and yeah, Barker and Keen.
Okay, so everyone should be able to see that now.
So what do you think, Barker? Louis?
Lewis.
Lewis?
Yeah?
Did we lose it?
Sorry. Yeah, it's a right strange business, this, isn't it? But what happened out there last night? I heard
Well-
some kind of noise going on, but
Is
It
Barker
was
Irish now?
Captain-
yeah, I still can't nail the accent. I still haven't got it.
Durham?
Fucking lost it somehow.
I used to have a friend with Durham once, so I know what you should like. That's the thing. It's very Geordie sounding.
Yeah, I've been trying to get that, man. I don't think I've nailed it down yet.
What's all that going on last night like?
So have you seen a receipt like that before, Lewis?
Oh, it's a new one on me, like. I mean, we got lads that came back from the mines that needed to be put to rest, like, but to have it in something like on a ship. This is certainly nothing I've ever come up against.
Adam, do you want to tell everybody what happened? You were saying you saw something.
I can't really be sure, but it looked like some kind of thing. Something. It was white. Out of character. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, it's just like, and that's why it stood out, because in all the blackness there was this big white, fleshy looking hump kind of looking thing, and it came up out of the water and back down again.
Okay. So yeah, it was this white fleshy thing. I can't really be sure what it was, but then I found this letter.
Tell them what the behaviour was like as well, what Captain Farragon's behaviour was like.
Farringdon.
Can never get Farringdon. Yeah, I got it there. So Adam, you said that he was acting erratic?
Yeah, he was acting erratic. He was yelling at that thing, and he looked very pale and scared, like he was crying.
Did you know? Did you know what the captain was shouting?
Well, you said it was a chant, didn't you? It was kind of like chanting. It was as if he was chanting.
He
something.
did not say that.
Oh, did he?
I did not say that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I said he was screaming at something. Like he was crying and all that.
Do you think that?
Do
you think it was a kind of chant, or?
I don't know.
Do you have anything you want to confess?
Yes. Me?
No, I was making fun. Anyways.
I did see some papers, but I didn't get a good look at them, so it was none of my business.
But did you hear what the captain was shouting? Specifically.
He was shouting mostly like the person, the thing, to like. Out of character, I wasn't really sure. He was just.
It's like you weren't there, you didn't come, why weren't you there? That kind of thing.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just more like he was mostly shouting like, that stuff. You weren't there. He was like he was arguing. He was arguing at something. There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
And he was directing this towards the thing in the water?
I think so.
What do you think, Lewis? What do you think about this? You've been at sea before, loads of times. So what do you think?
Don't get all quiet now.
No, he hasn't.
Is he not? But he was a barber, wasn't he? And on sea, wasn't he?
Yes, barbers go out to sea all the time.
Yeah.
Then again, that's a badass barber, let me tell you.
The infamous aquatic barbers.
Yeah.
Well, some people have hairdressers and barbers on the boat.
Today's show is brought to you by Aqua Barbers. Hold your breath and get a fade.
What do you think, anyway, Lewis?
I think there's definitely something they're not telling us, like, but what it is, I really couldn't. I could hardly speculate. There's something more going on here, but what it is, though, I don't know.
I think we should look through his stuff. Who's with me?
Okay, I think Kian in this moment definitely just saw Mildred say that to the rest of the group. Just like, I think we should go into the vaults right now, right? And Kian just like fucking sighs.
What do you mean going to the vaults? What are you talking about?
No. I'm saying that's the memory that he sees as Gloria says that, because it's the same sort of situation. But Kian will say, like, Gloria, I don't think looking through the captain's things is a very good idea.
But what are we to do if we don't have the information? You know, the knowledge. Oh, who's with me?
Why are we going
There's-
into the vaults?
For you, Kian,
We're not going
this
into
is
the
definitely
vaults. We're
like
just
door, like
going
mother.
into his.
Oh yeah.
We're just
Hold
going
on.
through his stuff, not in the vaults.
Uh,
He's just thinking flashback of when he was in Edinburgh in the vaults. So
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Alright, so two of you clearly don't think rifling through the Spear Officer's belongings is a good idea. What about Lewis?
Very.
Because Lewis is obviously doesn't really know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I think he's a shifty one to be sure, but I don't think going through his stuff is the right thing to do. Like, and
Thank you.
Oh really? I thought you as the black marketeer type character might be more inclined to a little criminal activity.
I think fair question.
I think it's because he's in a confined space.
Well that's
yeah,
fair,
I
yeah.
know. Yeah, I mean we've got to put up with him for like another few days. I'll tell you what, if we give it until we get onto dry land and then we can see how he behaves then, you might get a better chance.
That sounds like a good
Doing Irish, why do I keep doing Irish?
Just do your normal voice, mate, if you don't want to put a
I
voice
think
on.
I'm gonna have to, yeah, I think that's the only way.
We know that he's meant to be kind of
Yeah.
don't remember. Okay, yeah, so Gloria, I mean, you're pitching it and everyone else is just looking at you like, that's a terrible idea.
well,
We should absolutely speak to the captain about this when he's awake, and
Give him a
Well,
chance
this-
to explain himself.
yes, we should give the man a chance to explain himself. And keep in mind, he is a military officer, and our commander at in this operation. If something is to happen to him, it might come back on us in a very bad way.
I think we should go and speak to Captain Archer and see, has he worked with Farrington before?
So, as you say that, Gloria, Captain Archer comes striding into the galley. All the men kind of look up, not standing at attention, but they look up towards him. And he strides right in, very well dressed, suit, jacket all buttoned up and shiny and polished. And he looks around. Who's missing? Damn it, we're a man short. You look
Missing?
around. Now, Jacques and Marcel and some of the other men, including the cook, are in the room with you. So they're all accounted for. Yes, we did the head count this morning. We're one man short. Damn it, where's Matthew?
Was he pulling some sort of shift at night, or
Well, no, he
who
shouldn't have
saw him
been.
last?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Did any of you see him walking around last night?
No.
I certainly didn't, Captain. I was asleep in my bunk.
Dr. Pemberton, I heard you were on the bridge last night. Did you see anyone?
The only person I saw was Jacques and Adam. We what's called, and Adam saw Captain Farrington with Jacques.
What in the good God's name were you all doing out in that storm last night?
Because Captain Farrington was drunkenly what's called on the top of the ship, and we were in fear for his life.
As you say that, he throws Marcel a look across the table, and he looks back at you. Drunk was he? I'll go speak to him just now. And he motions to the other men. He's like, you lot, get on your feet and get looking. We have to find him. And they all get up and drop what they're doing, drop their cards, then spread out. Captain Archer leaves to go find Captain Farrington.
So
What-
Matthew is missing?
It would appear so.
Well, wait, is that the guy I met earlier?
No, that was
So
Killian
you-
that you talked to. You would have seen Matthew going around, but nobody actually spoke to him.
No, but he spoke to Jacques last night.
Did speak. Jack, did you see anybody besides? Oh, no, you were with me.
No, you and Cole there. I didn't see anyone else. But, I mean, it's possible.
Okay. Do we have a plan? If not, I have one.
I think the plan is simply to search the ship and see if we can find him anywhere.
Okay. Gloria, if you want, you can search the vault.
Why would I search the vault?
What vault are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What was that shit about the vault?
Okay,
That was the Edinburgh
that was
vault.
he was out of character when he was talking about the vault.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Yeah, I said I was having a flashback. It was just like the same sort of situation.
But you want to express to Gloria that she should look in the brief.
Yeah, but I'm not going myself.
You can
But
hear.
yeah, no. Let me say it again. I go, Gloria, you can always check his office. Is it office or where I
No,
found
he's,
those
they
documents?
just got a case underneath his bunk. It's in a hallway, so
Yeah.
it's not like locked up or anything.
Yeah, you could check that hallway where his case is.
Well, I need someone to be in the lookout.
Jock actually likes you, right?
Gloria, you're not looking through the captain's things.
I didn't say that. I just said look for him.
I'm not stupid.
Oh, yeah,
I
but
know.
why is Gloria having to do that? Like, I'm sorry, I'm just
It was your
wondering.
idea.
Yeah,
It was your idea. Thank you.
Literally
Thank
pitched
you.
it.
Thank you, Dark. Thank you. You know what's actually scary about that? Because I can match this in character, and this dark entity's there, and this dark malice. I'm like, oh god.
And why should she take Jack? She doesn't. She barely knows Jack.
It's
She
so
would take.
like-
She would take like one of the. It would split up in twos. Would we not?
So
Okay,
all
take
the ship crewmen are they're out and looking for this guy now. So you guys are just
Okay,
in the
so,
galley
yeah.
yourself for the moment. You
Okay,
do
you
hear.
and
Sorry, there you go.
sorry for stepping on you, God. You and Luis go in there. That's your lookout, and me and Doyle will go out and search for Matthew. Right?
No, because Gloria's not looking through that damn fucking briefcase.
Regardless, she's gonna do it. So we might as well just get it over with. So which one would you want?
It's just gonna take Gloria's head and be like, come on, we're checking the top decks.
You're my wife. Damn, you got green acred.
So as
Alright.
Kian drags Gloria out of the galley, you hear the two captains having a minor sort of argument. Captain Archer is giving Fangden some stern words about the dangers of being drunk on the ship and wandering around yourself at night in a storm, how idiotic it is, and perhaps because of his actions we might have lost a good man. And Fangden is obviously dealing with a severe hangover and at the same time is not used to be spoken to this way, and they're having a back and forth that's quite heated. He's like, damn it, man, there was no one else out there with me last night. I don't even know what the blazes you're all talking about. And the two of them kind of like storm off in different directions. And Lewis and Adam User in the galley on your own at the moment. You would have heard that they were like almost yelling at each other, so you could hear it from where you're
I
standing.
follow Gloria and O'Doyle. Once he did the Green Acre thing, I walked with him.
So after hearing that, what do you do?
I feel like we should just check the part. Do you know how he was like where he was situated? So I just like ask Adam, where was he when you saw him last night? Because there could be some clues or something. So
Oh, that's perfect. Let's go. I go take
Yeah.
him directly to that situation
Okay.
place.
So Adam, Gloria go up deck to where they found the captain last night. What about Lewis and Kian?
Oh, well, I was definitely sticking with Gloria to make
Okay.
sure she doesn't fucking...
Okay, so you go with them. Lewis, are you following all these people, or are you doing something else on your own?
I think given that everyone else has kind of gone en masse to do this, I think assuming that I'll probably want to stick with everyone else just for safety in numbers.
Okay, they're ahead of you. They go upstairs to the upper deck. As they do so, you guys come to the upper deck and you can see the Captain Farrington ahead of you, pulling his jacket together and kind of like fixing his hat and storming off towards the bridge. Captain Archer, for his part, is remained in the lower deck and went off in the direction of like the engine room. As Lewis comes out of the galley, the others are going up the stairs, and you can just see Lieutenant Weston sort of standing in the doorway outside Gloria's cabin, and he was obviously just listening to everything that was being said. And the two of you are just kind of like standing across each other for a moment. If you want to say anything to Weston. No?
Hmm?
I'm asking.
Still thinking if there's something that could.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, while you're like standing stage for a second, he puts his hat on and he's like, "Private, don't you have something you should be doing?"
Sorry, sir. Just looking for the missing man.
Of course. And he walks past you, giving you a sort of hard eye, and it goes up the stairs to the upper deck. You're now like the only person around the bunk area and Gloria's cabin on your own.
Is this near where the captain would keep his case?
Yes, I mean it's only a few paces in front of you.
Opportunist.
I think, I suppose, given if the opportunity has arisen, I would make sure that no one else is around and maybe have a quick look at the case just to see my curiosity starting to get better on me at this point.
Give me an investigate roll.
Oh, you swindle. In character.
I didn't hear a word of that.
I said out of character. I told you swindle.
Oh, you get everything. Okay. So in shared documents, which will be available for you only just now, Lewis, what catches, I mean, you've got the documents that he talked to you about before, the mission brief and stuff like that, so you kind of skim through that. The one that catches your eye right away is a news clipping. And further to that, there is a letter. Now, you're not going to have time to read the letter in full at the moment, you just skim it. Do you want to pocket it?
I'll just make do with skimming it. I won't take the chance of actually taking anything away with me.
Right, well, I will give you Observer there so you can see it, and you can give it a quick read over. The full text is at the bottom, if it's easier. And you can fill the others in on that. If you want to pocket the news clipping, you can take it to show the others after as well. You guys that go up deck, go to the rear of the ship. There are crew members all over the place looking around and yelling the man's name, Matthew. And you just get to the back, and Adam shows you the spot where they found the captain. Can each of the three of you make an investigate roll?
Dear God, man.
I mean, Adam, you were there last night at pitch black, and to you, there's nothing here that's more of a clue than there was last night. You're kind of just big crates, water. Can't really see what's going on. Gloria and Kian, you're looking around and you get in amongst the crates, especially you, Kian, because you've kind of been in places getting in amongst it before. And Gloria obviously had as her mother's curiosity. And while you are right there between some of these crates that are you have to go sideways and slide between them. It's just enough for a man to kind of fit through. You can definitely smell like a dead animal or something.
Oh my goodness, what is that smell?
Wait, wouldn't I smell that too?
No, because you're just standing a different bit in the breeze or whatever, you don't see it. What you do see though, Adam, is a fish, which is kind of flopping on the deck of the ship, just slowly dying there alone in the sunlight.
I go up to the fish.
It's just got the last sort of flops of life in it.
What kind of fish is it?
A mackerel.
Good man. Did does it look like it's like in the middle or just?
Yeah, it's just there in the middle of the deck.
I take a picture of it, cause you said it's in the middle of the deck. What the hell's it doing in the middle of the deck?
Sure. You're a photographer. You take a photograph. Lewis, did you get a good skim of those? Or do you want to just pocket them?
I'll just leave them be. I'll put them back where I found them.
Okay, I'm going to remove them now.
I think the moment that Keenan smells that, he'll try to. I mean, I would assume that Keenan's kind of put himself in front of Gloria, and is like the first one searching in this like thin space. So if anything, he probably will look back at Gloria and be like, "Stay back for a moment," before kind of trying to follow the smell towards the source.
Sure, I mean, you side along a little bit and he's like right into this sort of intersection between four like stacks of like massive crates. And it seems to be the one here. I don't want to give a direction, but there's one side of it that it's clearly coming from, and you press your nose right up against it through the cracks in the wood of the crate. You can definitely like smell like a dead body.
Do I hear the stay back?
Sorry, Glum, you went really quiet again.
Do I hear him say step back, Gloria, or?
I don't think you're that close. I'm imagining they're right in the crates there, and you're like out on the deck taking pictures of this fish.
Well, I'm not like I'm not like
Yeah, no, I mean you snap it, but you're standing. They're right in the middle of all these crates, and you're like on the outside of it. So unless he's like raising his voice, you wouldn't hear him.
Okay, so I didn't hear that. I go back. Well, I do go back to seeing them because it's like it's just a fish.
Yeah, you go back alongside and you can see the two of them are like in amongst these crates.
Wait, do I smell it?
And you probably get a whiff of it standing here now, yeah.
Oh no! What is that?
Is there any way that I can open the crate from?
Not
where we are?
barehanded. You would need. They would need to like lift the crate off the top of it and then pry it open or something.
I move my head forward into it. Is it strong?
Yeah, I mean if you're like downwind of it, you can smell it. It's like a dead body. It's a very potent, sweet, rotten smell.
I think we found him.
We don't know that. What about like on the floor, like the sides of the crate, or is there any like marks or?
Well, I mean, with your roll, you'll see there's a manifest like attached to the side of the crate.
Okay, I'll read that.
You can see that this is supposed to be delivered to North Virginia in the USA.
Does it say what it's supposed to contain?
Farming equipment.
Yeah, I'll kind of give the all clear because there's no like visible body or anything like that, but it's definitely a stench. So I think Kian will, if there's any of the other sailors around, I'll kind of let them know, and maybe they can open the crate or something like that. But there's definitely something rotting in that crate.
Yeah, I mean, I think if any of you were to yell over, Killian is the one that kind of responds.
I was gonna do it. I was like, I'm gonna go call. Hey!
Yeah, so he runs over. Yes, did you find him?
Come over here.
What's the matter?
When you come over here, you'll understand.
Well, I mean, he follows you over and he's like, what's the matter?
Does he smell it?
Oh.
That's why I wanted you to come over. Yeah, it's coming from this barrel.
Okay, so he looks at the crate. It's a very large size crate. I mean, you could stretch your arms out side to side and just sort of touch the edges of it. Lewis, you've read the notes or whatever at that point and kind of came up deck. And as you do so, Kellyanne is like at the rear of the ship and he's like yelling for the captain. It's like, Captain, Captain! And other men are just like yelling it along. Captain Archer like comes storming up from behind you up the stairs. It's like, what's all this ruckus? Did we find him? And you're like, no, but there's the smell. And it comes over to you guys. What is this? What's this? What's all this about?
There's a smell coming from this crate.
And he checks the manifest for it. It's like, Killian, get a crowbar. Open this up. The rest of you, stand back.
Right, we step back.
Ken comes over with another 2 men. They've all got like crowbars. They unattach some of the bindings holding the crate still. One of them gets like a winch and lifts the crate that's on top of it and moves it to the side. And then from the top down, the side, they kind of like just pry it open with the crowbars. Who is there to witness this and who is like walked away before this happens?
Kian's watching.
I'm watching.
The man with 4 stress is watching, okay.
Yep.
Lewis, after you came up and you've heard this commotion, you've walked over, are you like standing there to see what's going on, or are you too perturbed by what you've read and gone elsewhere?
I'll hang on to see what's happening. I think I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
If you found the clipping stuff disturbing, you should make an insight roll.
Yeah, I think I would have done. I'll make a roll.
Actually, make an insight for me.
Go.
What do you tend towards when you are under extreme stress?
I think kind of restrained hysteria, a little bit of hyperventilation.
Alright, yeah, so you're having a panic attack at this point.
Yeah,
Having a panic
basically.
attack as they pop open this crate and it flops open and the smell of death just fills the air, sickening, making everybody kind of retch and choke for a second. And there are 2 dead bodies inside this crate, a young man and a young woman. There looks like there was a pitcher of water and some mouldy cheese wrapped up in a small towel. They are wearing just ordinary kind of everyday civilian clothes, but they're dead. The 2 of them, their bodies, they are lifeless. The skin kind of decaying, moulding. The eyes wild and staring. You just do not recognise them. If you're unaccustomed to seeing dead bodies, make an insight roll.
I feel like Claudia's seen dead bodies.
I think you'd
She's
be
a
fine.
surgeon.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
unless you find the sight of 2 young people dead like this.
But no, I'm in a war.
Okay, so you're fine as well. Kian, you've seen worse things.
Yeah.
He's like,
So I don't know if Lewis is maybe the only one because you're already in a panic attack and then you see these 2 dead bodies, these young people. I don't know if that would
Now
make
the
another one
question
for you.
is, how? You said they're decaying.
Yes, they've been there for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would probably be a little bit used to this, seeing like people being brought out from the mines, but at the same time, I think given the circumstances in which they've been found, I think that would kind of set me off. So I guess that's another insight roll.
Yeah, make another insight. I love how
Just
it's
one
like-
away.
yeah,
You'll be
it's-
mad like me.
Exactly, it keeps going up by 1. Yeah, now you can roleplay whatever your mild panic attack turns into.
Yeah, I think I would just be freaking out and yeah, things how would I react to this? Yeah, I think I would like turn and run out of the room. Actually.
Okay, so you run down the deck, not really knowing where you're going. You bang shoulders against Lieutenant Weston. So what the blazes you doing, man?
They found 2 dead. They found 2 dead people in the hold.
Dead? Oh, and he like walks along to see what's happening. The crew members and the captain are just kind of like looking at the bodies. The captain leans inside the container and like goes through their pockets, pulls out the man's wallet. Henry Puddington. I'm going to guess that this is Mrs. Puddington. Well, I think it's clear what happened here. A couple of stowaways. This equipment was supposed to be sent to the Americas, and it's been misdirected. Poor bastards have probably been stuck in here for weeks.
Yeah. Who's there also? Which one of the crewmen are all the crew there?
All except the missing man, obviously. And men who are actively manning the engines and stuff. Captain Farrington is not here. But Lieutenant Weston kind of walks up, like, what's going on here? Oh dear God.
Yeah. Jack, I need to show you something.
I still haven't found Matthew.
Jacques like, okay, what's wrong?
Now, I understand this may be common, but I point at the fish. Should a fish be that far on the ship?
Oh, with the storm last night? Yes, this is very common. And he just walks over and he just like kicks it off the side of the boat.
Okay. Just making sure, because I've never seen a fish like in the middle of the deck.
No, when the waves come up, the fish get blown on board. It happens all the time. Unfortunately,
Okay.
that may have been what happened to Matthew.
Oh,
We need to get like the bodies in the body bag. And
Yes, quite
Yeah.
right, Doctor. And he's like motions to two men to get some blankets, canvas, wrap the bodies in it and pull them off. They will, of course, need to be registered and taken to port so they can be shipped back to their families.
definitely.
you said they were well dressed?
No, they were commonly dressed, just like ordinary folk.
Oh,
Just like a young couple. They couldn't be more than early 20s.
that's pretty sad.
So, well, that's very sad, gentlemen. But we have a missing man, and God willing, he's somewhere on the ship.
Have we checked everywhere?
He like waves back to the rest of the men. It's like, yes, get back to your posts.
Where does Matthew like to hang out?
I imagine like the rest of them down in the galley. It's not much, or on deck. There's not much else to do on the ship. Who found this
The
body?
galley. Oh, point at Glory.
We did.
Yeah.
Good job, you two.
Thank you, sir.
Unfortunately, these things do happen. It's very tragic, but we have other matters to attend to. And emotions for the men to board up the crate again.
Should there be a emergency boat or something to like, a raft to just kind of like look for him in the sea and see if,
My dear doctor, I'm afraid if he has been swept to sea during the night, there's very little chance of anyone finding him.
Okay.
But let's not jump to that conclusion until we have searched the ship from top to bottom.
I'm gonna search the galley.
One of the crewmen, Kian, you noticed, he gets like the hammer and nails to seal the crate back up. The man is like missing like 2 fingers and a thumb, and you're just like, how is he even holding that nail in place with like his pinky and his off finger as he like hammers it into place? But just like the sight of the 7 fingers there together, just like you're just like, how is that actually working? And it's just a little unnerving.
And I just looks down at my own hands and appreciate the fact that I still have all 10 fingers and all 10 toes.
Unlike another character, cough cough.
Yep.
Okay, so that's boarded up. Your Private Barker kind of like ran off when it was unveiled. Where did you run to, Barker?
I think I would probably be on deck at this point, trying to get some fresh air and trying to calm down.
Sure, so maybe the opposite end of the ship at the front.
Yeah.
You run up there, and Captain Farrington is like up at the very prow, the very head of the ship, and just kind of like staring out to sea. And he turns when he like hears you coming. He's like, "Ah, Mr. Barker, how are you this morning?"
No, not good, Captain. They found two dead people in the hold.
Oh, well, that sounds unpleasant. Do you want to join me? I'm having a coffee.
Of course.
You see he's got like a flask and a coffee, and he kind of fills it up again for you and hands it to you. Here, this will make you feel better.
Thank you, sir.
It's quite a sight, isn't it? He says as he looks out across the sea.
It's awfully lonely, sir. It's like nothing I've seen before. It's like a desert, but a desert made of water. It's hard to describe.
Well, I suppose that is quite apt. You know, I'm a bit of a historian, and it always reminds me of the story of Atlantis. Are you familiar with any Greek tales?
I'm a man of plain learning, sir. I've heard of Atlantis, but I don't know the story.
Well, the gist of it really is that Plato was writing an allegory for the Archimedean Empire, which was to his east, and firmly, as you said, you know, across the desert, whereas to the west was the ocean. And he speculated about a great naval power on a continent of Atlantis, which sunk into the sea. It was a tale of man's hubris and whatnot. Always fascinated me as a child, you know. An underwater kingdom waiting to be explored. It makes you wonder, when we have ruins under the desert and under the dirt, what might be lying under the ocean for us to discover if we had the means to explore it.
I think there's probably more in heaven and earth than is ever going to be inside our comprehension, sir.
That's exactly it, man. And I was trying to express this to our friend Mr. O'Doyle, but despite the things that he claims to have seen, doesn't seem to quite grasp where I'm coming from. What about yourself? Do you have any interests?
I like to play cricket when my free times are.
Of course you do, my good man. Slaps you in the back a little too hard. Oh, I must say I'm feeling much better after this coffee. Would you like a little something to warm it up? And he pulls out a little hip flask and jingles it.
Maybe just a little if you're offering, sir.
Yeah, he puts a dab of whiskey in it. Yes, we should be coming up to the American group today, and then on to Gibraltar. I'm looking forward to a good meal, I can tell you.
In other circumstances, I think I would share your enthusiasm, sir. It would be like a holiday for sure.
Yes, quite. I forget how much of a change it must be for you, coming from your quaint little town at home.
Yes, the fresh air is a welcome relief from the smoke and the blackness of the coal dust, sir.
Yes, I can't imagine anyone doing it for a living. A very harsh job, unforgiving environment, down there in the cold and the dark, all alone. The weight of the world above you. I imagine it'd be quite claustrophobic.
I'm sure it would be, sir, but I was determined from as soon as I could to do something else. That's why I ended up cutting folks' hair for them. Anything to avoid going down the mines.
Ah, yes. The barber. With a little something on the side, I'm meant to understand.
No more than anyone else, sir.
Of course you don't, my good man. He slaps you in the back again. Well, we all do what we must to get by. These are hard times. It's understandable. I must say, your officer in the Home Guard was quite reluctant for you to gain any kind of position. It took a little bit of persuasion for him to let you go. I have in mind he wanted to keep you under his heel.
I'm sure he just had my best interest at heart, sir.
Yes, well, that's all out the window now, I suppose. Don't worry, you keep your wits about you and hold a strong stomach and you'll be fine, lad. And he tops up your coffee with a little too much whiskey. And then takes a drink of it himself.
I think I'll take a sip, but kind of mind taking more than I actually am taking. I'm wary of taking too much.
Yeah, I mean, you can like really smell it when you hold it up to your mouth and mix it with the coffee, and it's kind of. So you take a wee sip of it, and then as you lower the cup down, there's just like a dark shadow under the water, and you can only really see it because the sun's so bright, shining down now on the water is like sparkling, and there's just this kind of large oval-shaped dark shadow under the surface of the water for a second, and then it kind of like disappears. Right, well, I suppose if there's a man missing, I ought to help. And he fixes his hat. You can keep the coffee for now, Private. I'll catch you later.
Sir?
He walks away.
So yeah, going down to the quarters and try to see.
Okay, so do you want to, so you leave them after they pack up the crate again and wrap up the bodies and such, and you go back below deck.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you doing?
I'm just searching around. You never know.
What kind of area you want to go down? Engine rooms, the storerooms, the bunks? Like, where do you want to look around?
Bunks.
Okay, you want to. Okay, so you're like, you go down there and you notice it's kind of empty. You don't need to make a roll. You can see that someone has touched the captain's briefcase. It's not exactly where it was when you last saw it.
I'm minding my business. Where's Matthew's bunk? I didn't ask. Fuck.
You may have seen him. He was one of the men who had the hammock in the galley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably go to his.
As you head towards the galley, Marcel is kind of like hurrying past you. Bonjour, man.
Marshall, where's Matthew's sleeping quarters thing?
The right this way. He takes you back to the galley and he points. So I sleep down here, and this is Matthew right above me. Those are his things, and he like points, and you can see there's like a photograph of a young woman pinned on the wall.
Hmm. Is it like a pinup or just a?
No, it's like a portrait photograph.
Sad. How's his bed look? Does it look like made? Does it look like it's been?
The hammock is being unhooked and then hooked up onto the same side as, like, both ends of it are hooked up on the same side, so it's
Oh
just
shit!
hanging.
I'm sorry. It's a hammock. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It just moves so they can hang up. They obviously like hang them up when it's like breakfast time.
Yeah.
One of the men must have hung this up. He was not here this morning. Excuse me, monsieur. I must look for him.
Very well. That's what I'm looking for too. I'm just trying to see.
Oui,
When'd
oui.
you last see him?
And he comes down and he's scratching the back of his head. Last night, you and your officer were talking very loudly, and then I had a cigarette, and then I went to sleep, and he was still in his hammock when I went to sleep. So I don't know if he got up in the middle of the night or what happened.
Gotcha. All right.
He jogs off.
I follow him. Like, hey, let me go with you. Ain't nothing here.
Oui. And it's that I'm going to check the engine room.
Oh, me too. Let's go.
Kean and Gloria, what do you do after the crate gets boarded up?
Well, I make my excuses to go into my cabin.
I'm definitely following Gloria. Kid will stop outside of her door, but he's making sure she stays away. He doesn't do anything rash.
So Gloria, you're like, I'm just going to go back to my room for a moment. And then Kean pure like follows you like a stalker.
And then I just like open the cabin door and just kind of go, right, what is this? Oh, excuse me, are you okay?
I'm fine. Just making sure that you don't do anything that you said you would. And we're told not to.
I'm just going here for a rest. Just having a wee lie down.
Well, in that case, ma'am, I will be right here, making sure nobody bothers you.
Oh, that's Very kind of you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
So, Gloria, you go into your room and you close the door and he's still standing outside and you do so. I actually have a room, Gloria, I can show you what it looks like.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It's something like this. Maybe move this one, I don't think we need this anymore.
Can I like do a thorough investigation in my room?
Yeah, I mean, you can roll investigate if you want.
Yeah.
If you stick with that and do not use insight to reroll it, you will not find anything. Do you wish to reroll it with insight?
You want to take stress?
I'm trying to think if I want to or not.
I mean, you wouldn't necessarily take insight, unless you're like insight 1, then it'll almost definitely go up.
I know. I'm just...
Yeah. No, what? I'm just gonna take it. Yeah. Let's
Okay,
go for
so
it.
you do the investigation,
Yeah.
a roll again, but you also take the insight dice when you do it.
Do I get investigate again? Or
Yeah.
is it?
Yes,
okay.
it's the same roll, but you're adding the insight dice this time.
Okay, so I'm rolling investigate and then rolling insight.
No. Do the investigate roll, but as an option, when you pick the 3 dice, you take the humanly possible one and
Right,
the
okay.
green one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry.
And you can do this as many times as you like. Because obviously each time just carries the risk of it getting raised.
Oh, see, there you go.
That's still going to be a fail. But you can do exactly the same thing again if you want.
Oh, stuff that. No.
Yeah, I mean, you searched your room once, twice. Obviously people were using this bunk room before. But they must have cleared it out. There isn't anything in here to find. There's just your belongings, the vase of flowers that they left out for you, and the clean sheets. Cian, as you're like standing out there in the hall on your own, your eyes sort of drift towards the captain's bunk for a second. But then you hear the of the radio room down the hall.
I think honestly, Kian probably would take a moment and just be like, "No, yeah, I'm gonna stay here. Make sure she doesn't go poking around in that, because it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to look at the captain's papers and figure out what he might be hiding. Not a good idea at all. Making sure I'm alone. But I think Kian will." Being a hypocrite, we'll search the captain's
Can't
papers.
help himself.
Oh my goodness.
This is an investigate roll.
Yeah.
You do not
Yeah.
get any extra dice unless you take the insight. And that will be a failure unless you reroll it.
Ah, fuck it. Fuck's sakes.
Oh goodness.
Okay, well, yeah, we're
yeah.
good.
Fine. Right, shared documents. I'm going to let you see this news clipping. This probably doesn't do much for you.
No, probably not.
Smile.
But yeah, I just... I'm laughing at the absurdity. No, Gloria, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Fucking does it anyways.
Do you wish to pocket them?
Let's see. I think I would pocket... I think I'd pocket the letter.
Right, okay. So if you want to scan and use clipping, so you can remember the details of it. But the surnames of some of the miners definitely stands out to you.
Yeah.
But I will give you the letter and you can show that to whoever you want to show it to.
Sure.
I'm just going to take away the clipping now.
Yeah.
Letter's there for you. As you know, you go through and then you're jolted and just suddenly like pocket the letter because you hear like the sound of footsteps, and you turn around, and one of the guys, and he's got like the actually no, you wouldn't. He's got like some gear around his neck, like wires and stuff. He's clearly like the radio man, and he's jogging along, and then like turns and goes up the stairs, and you can just hear the static and the occasional kind of voices on the radio from the radio room.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like do my best to play cool as he jogs past, and then as he leaves, I'll breathe a sigh of relief, try to make sure I put everything back the way it was, and just kind of stand there, still kind of hanging out in front of Gloria's door.
Are you at all curious about searching down a corridor at the radio room? Not that I'm pushing you to or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, yeah, actually. I mean, especially if, like, does the guy look, as he jogs past, does he look like he's, like, urgent, or?
He's hurried, yes.
Okay, yeah, I think, yeah, Kian is nothing if not curious, so he'd probably make his way down that way as well.
Right, okay, yeah, that's going to be stretched out here. But you go down, you turn, and it's just this very small, like, closet of a room, typewriter, and you can hear the radio. It's kind of static. Whatever he kind of caught or tuned into, you know, he's either, like, scrambled it or just left it on so nobody else can overhear or whatever. Or maybe it stopped transmitting whatever he's listening to. And you're standing for a second looking at all the dials and buttons and stuff, and you're like unsure of, you know, what you could do, if anything, what you could glean from this. And you're just about to step out of the room when you hear a voice on the radio.
Kieran, we need to go right now. We can deal with that later. Right now, we just need to get away from here.
And hopefully I just end on to hear that.
Oh, that put ice in my veins. What the fuck?
And that's where we will stop tonight.
Come on.
I feel like because you and Goose have like all the information, it's just so unfair.
I mean, they'll share at some point.
Eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh man, that actually put ice in my veins. Holy shit.
Does that mean that you're stone cold?
It's like a chill.
Yeah.
Your blood runs cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
Did it go, Kian?
Did you not hear it?
Wait, did nobody else hear that?
I heard it. I was like, what the fuck?
I can play it again,
I didn't
Gloria.
hear anything.
Do you have the sound turned up, Audio?
Yeah.
Gloria. Right, I'll play it again.
Kieran, we need to go right now. We can deal with that later. Right now, we just
Can't
need to get
hear
away
it.
from here.
I can.
I don't know what saying you've got fucked up there.
Yeah.
You've got sound settings on the right hand side. I mean, could you hear the storm, ambient background, and all the rest of it?
No.
Okay, well, that's your problem then. You've got sound settings on one side. If you're not hearing like the ambient sounds, then you know that's your
Shitty thing to say. Like, that's your problem.
Well, it's saying that I can't use the audio unless I'm like the admin.
No, the music note on the right hand side. You've got volume controls.
Yeah, it's you mouse over it says playlists.
Yeah, because I can't set like a universal volume. Like everybody has it individually.
Try that again. See if it.
Right. Okay.
Kieran, we need to go right now. We can deal with that later. Right now, we just need to get away from here.
All I can see is Finley's voice, and that's it.
Okay, but you can't hear it.
Sound. No.
Oh well, you can listen to it in this side afterwards. That's fine.
Yeah.
Damn, that's disturbing.
Yes,
What
but
was it? Just to say.
It's a really staticky kind of like muffled, like it's basically a recording of Finley saying, "Kian, we need to go right now. We can deal with that later. We just need to go right now."
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to pop.
Yeah, and Finley's for one thing, Finley's dead. I don't know for how long, but Finley's dead, and that clip was from something that happened 20 years ago.
22 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so Ian is fucking frozen at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Should not be hearing that.
Sorry, to end it, you should make an insight roll for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, you're fine. You keep it together, though.
Just barely, yeah. I mean, I've dealt with some strange shit, but honestly, it might just be, oh, fuck, yeah, this is par for the course, I suppose.
So you will be able to, if anyone hasn't written a letter, you can write a letter before next week. Please do it.
Yeah, that seems important.
Please don't do it on the day or the day before. Give me time to write a reply. But if you can write it up, and then you will pull into Gibraltar at the start of the next session, and you'll be able to post your letters then. And you'll probably be able to get your letters either at the end of the session or the following session.
Is it just to a friend or family member?
Yeah, just to someone that your character would write to, as a matter of letting them know what's happening.
Yeah.
Sure.
I've already got mine written. It's the only entry in my journal, but
Yeah, I've got mine written
Yeah.
as well.
that. Oh man.
Yep, we're not even off the boat yet.
I'm not even off the fucking boat yet. Fully expect you to kind of drag out the mundane, scary stuff for a bit, and then hit us with the weird shit. But
This is the mundane stuff.
Oh, there ain't nothing mundane about that. That voice should not be heard.
Yeah, there's only one thing that I didn't do, but yeah, this is all the mundane stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that Keen's so fucking close to going and say he might just be hearing things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is very true, very true. Which is only making it scarier, honestly. Like that Rocky scenario where even I, the player, am not sure if what Rocky's experiencing is real or not.
Look at this with all the side eyes. GIF.
Yeah. Well, that was whenever Adam was Barker was talking with Captain Farrington.
He's just sharing his love
He
of
was
history and folklore.
saying some suspicious shit. I'm just saying.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just mad that kid missed both that and the thing in the water, because fucking hell. I mean, it makes sense, though. Kid was drinking.
Well, I mean, I was also
heavily,
didn't really want you to be rolling too many inside rolls.
Oh, yeah, this is also true.
It's a bit early to be going totally off the rocker.
Yeah. Oh, man, I really want to keep going now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, everyone else is at 3 right now, so none of you are doing that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for taking that insight roll, Laura. That was great.
Yeah.
Join me in insanity.
It would be wild if we needed all new characters before we even got this.
Yeah, my goodness.
Yeah, that could be problematic, yeah. But you get your letters, you should be fine. And there's, like I said, there's not a lot of rolls. It's not like a roll heavy. You know what I mean? It'll be intense rolls when you have to do them, but I think because they're spread out, you know what I mean? It is more tense when you're actually having to do it.
Mm-hmm. Makes the impact of the results that much harder. Or more impactful, I guess.
Yeah, you're hinging on it more.
I'm fried now.
But yes, that's this week, guys. We will continue next week.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Can't wait.
See you guys later. Bye.
Yep, see you later.
Yep, catch you then.
See it.